What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. NFL Week 2 done, dusted, wrapped in the books. We're going to break down contenders, pretenders. After 2 weeks, what do we think about some of these teams? Are there some real big dogs that are, I guess, newer to the scene? Or is it still the same old guys, the Tampa Bay Bucks and co? Are they looking to make another Super Bowl repeat? We'll talk about contenders, pretenders through week 2. We're going to talk updated Super Bowl odds. Should we have been all over Kyler Murray, like on the jump? Should that have already happened? What were we thinking? Should I have a Kyler Murray ticket in my pocket? We'll talk about updated MVP odds, what they look like now. We're also going to open it up with the Packers-Lions last night. Interesting start, pretty standard finish. Let's get it going. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago.
Man, look at Messi. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's good?
What's the business?
Yo, really quick, I got one more thing we're going to close the show with. I want to talk about superstars being subbed on and off of the court, the pitch, the field, whatever it is. Is that controlled by the coach, or should the star be able to be like, I'm good on the sub? Actually, I want to talk about that. Something happened in Paris, France. Lionel Messi got subbed the other day and was like baffled. He couldn't believe that. You know how in soccer they put the number on the thing?
Yeah.
He looked over and saw his number and was befuddled.
Couldn't believe it.
He couldn't believe it. So I want to talk about that. I'm interested to hear your opinion on that because I think you already know where I side. But it's still an interesting talk. But we're gonna kick it off. NFL, man. You already know the deal. NFL Week 2 in the books, done, dusted.
Defense optional.
Week 3 is on the way. Defense is
maybe
super optional.
It's very, very optional.
Super optional in the NFL. I tweeted out yesterday.
But the Bears still can't score.
90% of the NFL doesn't play a lick of defense. None. Zero.
Which is the same take you had this year for the NBA. It's the same thing you said this year for the NBA. You're like, maybe 2 teams in the league play D.
It's like, y'all want to give us an extra game? We just gonna play half the side of the ball.
Yep.
Y'all want 17 games? We just gonna play offense. That's what it is. So before we get to this NFL, you got any first take Tuesdays real quick?
Oh man, I can't even
Just off the cuff?
Not really, man. Not really. Just that the officiating this week was especially
non-NFL related.
Non-NFL related, man. No, nothing.
All right. The only thing I got is I'm the only man that hasn't seen Ted Lasso in the world.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, me and you are the only two that haven't seen it because it's I think it's on Apple TV, and it's about Jason Sudeikis is a soccer coach or some shit. I don't know, man, but it gets rave reviews and he's winning Emmys and everybody's talking about it. But I don't have Apple TV and I'm not paying for it for say what you want, bro. That type of comedy is not for me. I already know what Sudeikis, how he jokes and how that shit goes. I'm not buying Apple TV for that. So,
I'm straight.
It is what it is.
I had seen the word name Ted Lasso in a tweet yesterday, and then you brought it up this morning. Those are the only 2 times I had heard of it. But here's my thing with TV too, man. You will literally spend your entire day life inside the house trying to catch up with all the TV that people recommend to you. Like it's to the point now where like I actively go against recommendations because I can't keep up. It's like, have you seen this? Oh, this is the greatest series. This is the greatest true crime story. This is the greatest podcast. It's just too much. There's too much content. Like we're in content overload. Like you're missing out on shit because you just don't have time, especially during the NFL, NBA season. If I'm watching games, stuff like that, like, nah, man, I don't have the time for it. So I'll probably have to hard pass.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And it is endless, but you also kind of got to watch some stuff just to be up to snuff on conversation and some culture shit, or else you'll just be super in the dark. But yeah, I feel you. It is a lot.
It's a lot. It's too much, man. Like every week, something new. So Nah, I don't know anything about the Ted Lasso. I'm definitely not getting Apple TV. They got enough of my money already. Nah, I'm good.
My fault. I'm updating this. I'm updating the broadcast title. I left it blank. But NFL Week 2. This shit's flying by, man. It's been the nationally televised games have been really, really good for all except 2 quarters last night on the back half of that Lions Packers. Let's start there. Listen, anyone I don't and I saw the start, and we're gonna get into the Packers defense, but I saw the start. Anyone that thought Aaron Rodgers wasn't gonna bounce back at home in Lambeau is a sicko. Like, it's simple as that. That was always gonna be the case. They were always gonna hang 30 plus on them. It is what it is. Rodgers throws 4 touchdowns. It's easy. What did you think of the game last night?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stood out to me the most is just, and I know they got better in the second half, but that Packers defense, I was on the same thing. The Packers are going to win this game. They're going to win by a lot. I'm not worried about it at all. But I will say this, that Packers defense is definition of sus. Extremely suspect to start the game. They're letting Jared Goff do whatever he wanted, letting them run up and down the field. So, I mean, as long as they kind of fix that, tighten up, I think they'll be fine, because obviously we know this division. And we know that they're going to end up cruising to the division title. But I will say that their defense was super suspect. But exactly what I expected from Rodgers, man. He came out. I actually ended up watching the Manning broadcast. I just wanted to see what it was about. So outside of Peyton Manning breaking down the cover 2, it was exactly what I expected. It was brutal. But he did make some good points about how Rodgers was attacking the cover 2, and how, you pretty much as a quarterback, you have to be patient. And just kind of take what's there for you, which we obviously know from all those years of watching Lovie Smith. And as soon as a quarterback tries to get aggressive against that defense, that's when the turnovers start coming. But not Rodgers. He was kind of taking what was in front of him. Aaron Jones was a beast. He was a monster. I think his father had just passed away, so he was playing with a heavy heart. But this is exactly what we expected. It was fun, though. I mean, it wasn't, especially that first half. It was fun, like you said, man. Other than those other 2 quarters, we've had good national games. So I think when we all saw that on the schedule, we thought it would be a ass whooping. But Detroit was somewhat competitive, man. I mean, they kept fighting. They just don't have any talent.
Hey, man, listen. I think it's the same thing that we were talking about earlier. And it goes into the first half with Goff and all those guys. Look, Anthony Lynn drew up some really dope shit in the first half. The offense looked really, really smooth. In the first half.
Anytime we say his name, we have to have that clip queued up. I'm not sure.
Shout out Anthony Lynn, man. Hey, at least he still got a big-time job.
Absolutely.
Hey, my fault on the audio. If anybody was catching feedback, I forgot to put my headphones on, and I was just listening off that. So we're back now, though. Yeah, look, they come out solid. The design was really good. It's just once the flow of the game starts to go, and you're able to make adjustments on Goff, and he's not running off an extra day of preparation because it's on Monday night and it's not on a script, it starts to get a little shaky.
Absolutely.
He's not that bad, though.
He's pretty bad.
He's bad, but he's not bad. Like,
you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me a lot of Mitch. In the sense that, like, if you watch him, you're like, man, there is some talent there. Like, I'll always say this. If you remember that year that they went to the Super Bowl, they opened up the year against the Vikings on a Sunday night game. And go back and watch some of the throws that Goff made during that game. Yeah. I came away from that game saying, yo, this dude is like elite level talent. Just some of the throws that he made in that game. It was a shootout of Goff versus Cousins, and it was that year they went to the Super Bowl. Like, he's got talent. Like, he's got a good arm. He was kind of doing his thing on the run a little bit yesterday, but he's got some talent. But I think he doesn't see the field. And I think when shit kind of breaks down for him, he has no idea what to do.
It's the pocket presence that's really wildly shaky.
For sure. Yeah, it's like Mitch. It's like a lot of talent, but man, he just can't. Doesn't meet.
He does. He has. I mean, I've seen him get wildly accurate though, where I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, he put that ball on the money. But shout out Aaron Rodgers, and he's back. Let me get the box score up. 22 of 27, 255, 4 touchdowns. I even had my boy Henry, who's a Packers fan, text me and say, I don't know. Aaron might be losing it because of that ball he threw behind the crossing route into the ground.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Losing what? Packers fans are full freak out. I got a couple Packers fans I've talked to. They're like, "Yo, Aaron's tanking this year, or like he doesn't have it anymore." And it's just like, what game are y'all watching, man? He came out flat week 1. That's it. Period. End of story. You know what I mean? This wasn't going to last for 18 weeks. So,
hey, I don't know if you saw before the game the little segment that Randy Moss, Steve Young, and then they get a wide receiver, like the ace wide receiver. They had Devontae Adams yesterday. And they like play catch with him and just talk. I thought it was pretty cool.
No, I didn't see that.
Like Steve Young is essentially throwing the ball to Devontae Adams and then Randy Moss, and like Randy's chopping it up with Devontae, and they're like, asking him questions about the game and what happened about week 1 and whatever. But I thought it was a cool segment.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
It's my first time seeing that. But all right. We know what was going to happen last night, or at least I thought that's what was going to happen. The first half or not, they scored 3 points in the second half, 35-17 Packers. Let's get into this contender or pretender list. NFL Week 3. I don't know. I don't know if there's too many surprises, so I'm interested to go through this list and hear what you got. Let's run through it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a few 2-0 teams. Like you said, a lot of it is kind of chalk, but there are a couple surprises in there. Let's just start at the top. Real or fake, contender or pretender, the Los Angeles Rams.
No, they're
with Matt Stafford.
They're a contender in the NFC, no question.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They got a big test this week. They happen to be at home, which is good for them. They got Tampa this week.
Yep. Is that a Sunday night game?
I don't know exactly when it is. I was just looking at the schedule earlier.
Okay.
But yeah, man, they're a really good football team. We've seen them up front live.
We play them, it seems like, every other week. So we've played them each of the last 4 years, right?
Yeah, we play them all the time, it seems like. But yeah, no, they
so no problems there. You like the Stafford thing.
Apparently their weakness was at quarterback. McVay thought that. It's the same narrative people have been saying forever. Like, oh, we want to see what Stafford does. And we want to see what McVay does with a real quarterback, because scoring 10 points in the Super Bowl, whatever it was, 10 or 12 points in the Super Bowl, is never going to win it.
That's because Belichick befuddled them.
Yeah, so you add the super D that they have with all those studs over there, and then you get us a quarterback. Yeah, they're a contender.
All right.
The question.
Same division, your boy, flat-built assassin in the San Francisco 49ers, with Jimmy Garoppolo led San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, they're a contender too. Listen, the NFC is loaded, bro. The NFC is loaded. Tampa, San Fran, the Rams, Arizona. Well, I'm sure you're going to ask me about Carolina, but Green Bay.
I guess I would ask this then, right? What would worry you about the Niners then? So you tell me this team is real, and then tell me what you're worried about.
Scoring enough points.
Okay. Offense.
Because they played the Lions and they ran them out the building. Let me even get a little bit more detailed on that. Throwing the rock. Scoring enough points, but being able to throw the ball, because they played the Lions, who they're a bad football team overall. Yep. They showed a couple flashes, I guess, in the back half of on week 1, and then last night in the first half. But
scariest looking coach in the NFL, hands down.
Yes,
folks is big as hell.
we knew that. We knew that going in, right?
Yeah.
So, but listen, Garoppolo did well against the Lions, but they also then went to Philly and scored 17 points.
Right.
So, but my only concern about them would be just being able to do enough, like in Philly,
kind of like their Super Bowl team, where it's like, yo, this defense is elite, but Garoppolo is very, very shaky.
Yeah, Garoppolo showed some flashes that year that he's like, I could put up points if necessary. Remember, they put up a crazy amount of points in New Orleans. They put up like 48 or some shit, and then they had another game where they scored a lot of points, but it doesn't seem like he trusts him all that much. Right. AKA, I'm drafting another quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he drafted another quarterback.
we're either having conversations about this guy,
openly wanted another quarterback the entire offseason.
Right. So, like, for an example, at Philly, Garoppolo went 22 of 30 for 189 and at 6 yards a clip. That's just very, very safe.
Yep.
They're gonna have 100+ on the ground. So that's the only thing I would say about them is just worried that they could keep up with some of these offenses I'm seeing. You're gonna have to score a lot of fucking points, man.
Yeah.
Period. So, but yeah, they're a contender because they got a solid group. They're well coached. Shanahan for another offensive guru that hasn't been putting up that many points. So it could be Garoppolo's fault. It could not be, but I'm more on Garoppolo as a solid quarterback than Garoppolo better than Goff.
All right. So I got one.
Yeah.
Fresh off of 2 huge wins against the AFC North and with a legitimate MVP candidate quarterback kind of out of nowhere, Oakland Raiders. I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. Apologize.
Las Vegas Raiders. Pretenders.
So you're not on Derek Carr?
No, I think Derek Carr's solid. He's a solid quarterback. They're gonna be clawing to make the playoffs.
I think they started the year 2-0 last year as well, if I'm not mistaken. But
they're gonna be clawing to make the playoffs. Look, week 1 in a new building that finally has fans. Lamar Jackson is making mistakes left and fucking right.
Yeah, tough division. I mean, the Chiefs are going to win that division automatically. So it's going against them, the Chargers, and who's the other AFC West team? Oh, the Broncos.
Denver. Yeah,
we'll get to them too. We'll get to them. Yep.
So I would have to say they're pretenders right now, but
what's your worry?
They've got a couple good games. I also think, I've been talking about the Steelers for months now. I think they are whack. So going out to Pittsburgh and getting a W doesn't impress me because I think they're nothing on the sheet. So they won one of the craziest Monday Night football games in memory last week. And then they went out to Pittsburgh. Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then won a game. So I don't know.
Why is Carr just solid though? I guess that'd be my question. What is Derek Carr? So through the first 2 games, he's been elite, right? I think that's all you can really say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 700 yards. The Monday night performance was top notch. You can't. The second half of the Monday night performance.
The second half of the
Monday night performance was elite. You can't ask for any more for your quarterback as far as coming back and winning a game.
Hey, and also, I don't think I know everyone thinks Baltimore just plays defense because their name is the Baltimore
Ravens,
and they don't have to go out and play actual defense. But that defense is trash too.
Okay.
I don't want to hear anything about that D. They got smoked on Monday night by the Raiders, and then Mahomes and them did whatever they want. They typically do that with a lot of motherfuckers, but I don't think Baltimore's defense is anything. They're not running roughshod over anybody. They got a ton of injuries. So
this isn't Ray Lewis and the boys.
Listen, if you're telling me am I worried about the Raiders winning the AFC? No, hell no.
Okay, so pretenders.
Pretender.
All right, 2-0 Carolina Panthers under Sam Darnold.
In the NFC, they're 100% pretenders.
no shot.
No shot.
So they got to get. So you figure Tampa Bay. Tampa is the class of that division. They smacked New Orleans on Sunday. Absolutely smacked New Orleans on Sunday. Like made short work of them. The game was over before it started. They were in the backfield all day. Jameis looked flustered. So you don't think they have a chance even in a wild card? No, you're out on that team.
I mean, the question is pretender or contender.
Yep.
And they've been at the crib cozy. They started the season at home, back-to-back home games. They played the Jets, and they did smoke out the Saints. So if you're asking me if they're a contender, let me ask you this. What is considered a contender making the playoffs?
No, not even making the playoffs, but being some sort of a threat. Not these guys are going to win the Super Bowl, but are they going to win a playoff game? Can they put some pressure on folks if they get there? I mean,
the answer through 2 weeks for me on the Panthers is pretender.
No. Gotcha. Easy. Shout out Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Shout out getting away from the Jets. That's all. That's
all it took, man. Hey, 2 wins, 2 more wins they ever gotten playing for New York. Denver Broncos under Teddy two gloves, cover the spread, Teddy.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio defense.
The Broncos.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen. I will say the Broncos have a shot to contend because I think they're extremely solid on D.
Yep.
Von Miller seems to be back and has told you that and has told you so.
Yep.
Like, I'm back. I'm playing ball again. Teddy has looked really good the first couple of weeks, and we know Teddy doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I hate to say, like, the tired ass narrative about he doesn't make mistakes, but he doesn't push it down the field, that yada yada yada. But like he's been looking really, really good.
He
That
took some
D is
shots. He
elite.
took some shots on Sunday too.
Yo, my guy, that's a huge Broncos fan. Shout out Maxie. Says their worst player on defense right now is Kyle Fuller. Like that's how good that.
That's how good that defense is.
That's how good the D looks.
And they got some playmakers on offense. They got Jerry Jeudy over there. What's the other receiver they got? Roby, is that his name? No, what's the guy's name? There's another guy over there. Yeah, Noah Fant, solid tight end. And
I know my guy from I'm tweaking on his name from the Chargers got traded. Has been toting the rock really well. Wisconsin kid. What's his name? The running back.
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. Yeah, Melvin Gordon's been running the rock. So.
Guy that held out for absolutely no reason.
the
worst holdout I've ever seen. Remember, he held out, missed like half the year, and then just came back and still played on his regular contract. So essentially, like, just smoked off half a year's worth of salary for no reason and didn't get a deal.
Yeah, it was.
That was after the Zeke holdout. Everybody was feeling themselves.
Yeah, he didn't have any leverage. Yeah.
Zero. They were like, fine, you're fucking Melvin Gordon.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, he's nice.
Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon the third.
And Bridgewater's the type of if you have a really good defense and you just want someone to not make mistakes, you can do a hell of a lot worse than Teddy Bridgewater. He's played a ton of NFL games. He's got experience. He's got talent. Doesn't turn the ball over. And if you got a defense like that, I mean, yeah. And Vic knows what to do. Vic's gonna dial up that pressure.
Bridgewater's averaging 9.6 yards. On air yards. So like I'm not this is not yak or any of that. 9.6 average on air yards, which is 7th in the league, and that's 2 full yards better than his average last year. That's
airing it out a bit.
That's per next gen stats. So yeah, they're opening it up a little bit. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see.
You like them.
Listen, if you're gonna give me a team that plays super solid D, and people got to go to Denver to play,
which no one wants to do. That was the other thing. Yeah, no one wants to go there.
Yeah, so I'm in on them. Contenders. Let's get it. Javonte Williams, and then when Aaron Rodgers goes there next year, they're really gonna be contenders.
And win a Super Bowl.
Because that's where Aaron Rodgers is going. If y'all didn't know by now, Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a Bronco next year. Yeah. Telling you right now on no catch up.
All right. So maybe the most exciting team in the league so far, Arizona Cardinals.
They got to be. Let me actually say this.
Defense, highly suspect.
This is a really tough one because in the regular season, just like in the NBA, just like we've been talking, no one's going to play D. Apparently. No one wants to play D or the offense is too tough. I know the rules are set up against those guys, but these guys are going to have to win games like they have been by putting up a lot of points. They smoked out Tennessee in week 1 as well. But they've been putting up 30 plus a clip. They won 34-33 last week at Minnesota.
On a missed field goal.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I will still call them pretenders.
It's fair.
I will say it because I believe in Kyler Murray through and through. It just feels like they backed into a win. It's so crazy how in the NFL, the difference between 2-0 and 1-1. 2-0, you're on top of the world. 1-1, you're like fighting for your life still. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals are pretender. On top of the NFC being super stacked with the boys up top, they are very Dallas Cowboys for me. And they're never going to win that division. And I don't know if they can make noise, even if they make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs, but I think it'd be hard-pressed to make some noise. So I'll say the Arizona Cardinals through week 2 until I see some sort of defense are pretenders.
And do we even need to talk about –
And that's another team that played back-to-back home games to open the season.
Do we even need to talk about Tampa?
No, we don't.
So defense sus, so you're not worried about it?
The defense is extremely sus, but there's a couple teams in the league that, they could actually – listen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can actually give up 28 points a game and be winning games by 10, 12 points every week. That's how dangerous.
Elite offensively.
Like
Tom Brady pushing for the touchdown record already.
No, they could give up 28 points a game. They're going to put up almost 30, 35 a game. So it's like The defense is sus, but man,
Does Brady win an MVP at age 44?
very possible. We'll talk about the updated MVP odds here in a second, but yeah, it's very, very possible, no doubt.
Can I give you a bonus question?
Yeah.
Through 2 games, Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars have looked like absolute shit. In particular, Trevor Lawrence has looked like absolute shit.
Yeah.
At what point do you worry about Trevor Lawrence in that situation?
Never in year 1.
Okay. Me. So he could play 17 games like this.
He could play 17 games like this.
The 40 picks.
And I don't really care.
Okay.
Because it's a bad team. We know that. The coach apparently doesn't even know what's going on.
Did you hear the delay a game on a kickoff?
Delay a game on a kickoff. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't even know how you get that. Did he not line up?
If someone in the chat has heard of anybody getting a delay a game on a kickoff, you let me know, because I've never heard of that. I guess they just took too long. They flagged him for delay a game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, no, man, I think
does Urban make it through 17 weeks of this NFL season? I think it's getting less. You see the press conference the other day? Oh my God, he just looks defeated. Like he's obviously never dealt with losing like this, and he just looks defeated. But
even just getting the questions is like,
he's just like,
enough, bro.
I don't fucking know. Usually I'm over here beating Akron 48-6. Like, what do you want to tell me? I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah, no doubt. So no, I don't need to talk about the Bucs, and I don't worry about Trevor Lawrence, at least initially, because he's getting his pro reps against real teams, and he's going to continue to study every day.
Same with Zach Wilson.
Well, I was worried about him 16 months ago. So yeah, I'm worried about him a little bit, but I think you can't make your final verdict on. You got to decide if you're going to move off someone years out. Like,
right.
It is what it is, and I also think. Let me since we're talking about rookie quarterbacks, this is also a big problem for me on Justin Fields. The reason I wanted Pace and Nagy to get fired this year was because then the new quarterback this is before I knew we were getting Justin Fields. The new quarterback that we were going to get would be under a new regime that they picked, and he's learning their offense.
Right.
Now, Justin Fields is in a situation where if Nagy and Pace get fired at the end of the year, like they should, he's learning a new offense under a new regime that did not pick him. Now, if he comes out to be a stud and is a killer, it doesn't matter, right? But there's going to be fringe spots where a regime could be like, yo, the leash is a little shorter. I'll put it like that. That's what I'll say. There was no reason to put him through a new fucking coach and a new front office and a new everything for essentially no reason.
Well, those guys have assurances. I think, and we'll give quick bears. I think that Nagy and Pace have the don't embarrass us assurance, meaning that the Bears aren't going to fire them unless they are completely embarrassed. The Bears make moves when they're embarrassed. Remember Tressman, year 2? It was like, yo, this is a shit show. We're a national laughingstock. The stories that are coming out the locker room are crazy, and it's messing with the image of the organization. We have to fire them. If you don't have any of that, I think that those guys were guaranteed this year and next. Because I think when the organizational mandate, or however you feel that it came down from, was that you weren't going to play Fields, I think those guys got an extra year for that very reason. They're not going to put Fields at the new coach again next year. But they're not going to put him with the new coach next year. I think those guys are guaranteed to be back next year, unless we're embarrassed as an organization. Okay, I really feel that way.
I don't feel like getting pissed off this early in the morning. I'm having my first cup of coffee.
It's because you know it's true.
No, I hope it's not.
They have an extension. They got extended. They're here
because this mediocrity shit that people settle for is craziness. We're talking about the sports market of Chicago. Yo, man, go have AK run the Bears. He had his motherfucker turned over in remember
the Saints did that. Remember when they took over the Pelicans? They had Mickey Loomis running the Pelicans too.
No,
he was running the Saints and the Pelicans. He was over both. He was over their whole thing. Obviously, he signed people the day-to-day role, but he was like, "Yeah, hey, what's going on over here?"
Walking across the street
Take
to
off
the
one
Yum
hat,
Center.
put on the other. What the fuck's going on over here? This is ridiculous. This is absurd.
Walking across the street from the Caesars
that's
Superdome to the Yum Center.
to the yogurt center, whatever it's called, Smoothie King. Shout out Mickey Loomis. So no, we don't got to get into that, but either way, I agree with you. Don't worry in year one. With that being said,
in year one,
like we said last week, Mac Jones is here to stay.
Now I think this is what you do in year one. You make your opinion and decide if you think he can play or not, but you still got to give him some time.
Well, there's certain things you can look at with the guy and be like, yo, this guy just can't play.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
and it's not interceptions and things like that. I think it's other shit you have to see where it's like, yo, this guy, they're going to throw picks. Like you saw with Fields on Sunday. Again, they're going to see coverages and things you just don't see at college, don't see at high school, don't see anywhere else but the NFL, and that's going to surprise you. The question is, can you bounce back from it? But I wouldn't worry about any of these guys yet.
Did you see that clip from Fields where he explained why he threw the pick, though? Yeah,
it's what we talked about yesterday.
I thought it was interesting about how he was like, oh, it was a drop coverage, and they had been playing cover zero.
Yeah,
and he like went through the whole explanation on why he threw the pick.
But apparently he's not ready.
Yeah, he's ready, bro.
I watched Zach Wilson on Sunday. All right, fucking Justin Fields is ready. Trust me. If Zach Wilson could stay in that game and he was just throwing picks like they were going out of style, Justin Fields is ready.
Facts.
And they stuck with him. So,
you know what?
And again, that was the spot of the week. We should have known Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback was spot of the week. I don't care where that game was played.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, he had no idea what was going on.
I'll take the L there. Let me ask you a contender question. What about Let me ask you this. What about the Ravens?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're a contender because I don't think that division is great. Like you said, I think Pittsburgh is kind of fugazi.
Cleveland's D has looked so bad.
Cleveland's D has looked suspect.
Yeah.
And they have the best player in the division. So I think that goes a long way for them. And you saw that on Sunday night where when all else fails, no matter what kind of game you're in, Lamar keeps you in it. I just think that they need to continue to allow Lamar Jackson to be Lamar Jackson. Don't try to make him something else. Don't try to do all this other stuff. Don't try to make him look like Pat Mahomes. If your best option is, hey, we have Lamar Jackson, sometimes that means that he's got to get 100+ yards on the ground every game, then fucking do it. Because you know what? No one can stop it. That's the thing. Who cares if the whole stadium knows it's coming? It's like the Titans. It's like the Titans. The whole stadium knows it's coming, but do it until they can stop it.
This is the conversation I just had with Etta the other day. We were getting wings. Isn't that what they did when he won MVP? And they tried to pull up to the playoffs with that shit?
Yeah, fine. But they've won a playoff game since then. Remember, they couldn't win a playoff game? They won one last year. What are you going to do, though? What gives you a better shot at winning? Doing what you know is going to work and doing what you know he can do well, or trying to do something else on the fly? Like, you know that's not going to work. Like, your best bet is to catch people off guard with Lamar Jackson because he's still the most dynamic player in the NFL as far as the quarterback position is concerned.
It's tough. I mean, I'm split because we were talking about if we would give Lamar Jackson a big deal. And it was like, I mean, I was torn. I am torn. I don't know what to do with Lamar Jackson, bro, because I don't know if I could pay him $40 million a year.
Oh, you're sick.
Because he can't throw.
You're sick. Look at their record with Lamar Jackson as a starter.
Yeah, I understand, bro.
Look at their record with Lamar Jackson as a starter. Look at the success that this team has had. What are we talking about here?
You would pay Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes' bread?
Yes. No, we don't talk about Mahomes. What are you talking about? Like, give me the next guy. Would I pay him Deshaun Watson money? Yes. Would I pay him Josh Allen money? Yes. What are you going to do? What do you mean? Look at the numbers, man. We're going to talk about he hasn't had some success in the playoffs. They won a playoff game last year. I get it. You're still working on him. You're still developing him. But he still gives you a shot to – if you line up quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson's in the top 5, top 6 guys who give you a shot to win on Sunday. Period, point blank.
Wait. What did you just say? He's a top 5 quarterback?
Guys who give you a shot to win on Sunday. Yeah, for sure. Top 6. Yeah, give me 6 guys.
Give you 6 guys that I would take before him?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. This
Brady,
is
Rodgers,
that's 2.
Allen.
That's 3.
Mahomes, but
K1.
we don't count him.
K1.
Murray.
I won't even count Mahomes. That's 4 right there.
Okay.
Give me
Because
Watson doesn't count anymore, so we can even keep him off.
He's off. He's not playing.
I know I'm missing a big one. I'm blanking, but hold on.
Herbert, you take Herbert over.
Yes.
You're crazy.
Yes.
See, like at some point, we get ridiculous here. Like at some point, it gets.
Hey, Dak, motherfucker.
Okay.
Dak, Stafford.
I'm taking Lamar.
Hey, bro, Lamar.
Stop it.
Bro. Wait, you're taking
all he's done is win as a starter in the NFL. All he's done is win as a starter in the NFL.
He's a good quarterback.
Hey, if you drop Lamar on those Lions teams, they would have won more games than they did with Matt Stafford. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then you just literally let him do whatever he wants.
That's my point exactly. Just I said this last year when they were trying to make him into something he wasn't, and focused all this time on getting him to a. They would spend 2 quarters getting Lamar Jackson into a rhythm. They would literally spend 2 quarters like, yo, let's get him into a rhythm. Is he in his rhythm yet? It's halftime. Russell Wilson. Okay, that's fine. So you might have 6 guys, but he's in that list, is what I'm saying. In that list of guys you're going to take on Sunday to win a game, Lamar Jackson is there. What are we talking about? Did you not just watch the game on Sunday night? They won that game because of Lamar Jackson. They won that game because Lamar Jackson was the best player on the field. Period, point blank. What are we discussing here?
We're discussing if he's a top 5 quarterback, which you said he was.
I didn't say top 5. I said he's in the top 6 or 7 guys that you would take. 6 is what I said that you would take to win a game.
Nick, this is being recorded, just so you know.
Yeah, that's fine. To win games. Pull up his record. What is Lamar Jackson's record as a starter?
You said 5 or 6. He's not 5 or 6 or 7. And he's a good quarterback. I can't give him $39 million per. I just can't do it. That's me. I might be wrong there.
He's 31-8 as a starter.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
31-8 as a starter.
Nick, he struggles to throw the rock. Let's keep it 100. He struggles to throw the ball. And in the playoffs, you need a dude that's gonna stand. Did you remember week 1? He was struggling, bro. Let's be honest.
Well, they also have no weapons.
And I'm a Lamar
fan. Right now they have no weapons. Their whole team is hurt.
I get that. And I'm a Lamar fan. Don't get it twisted. I would just be hard pressed for him to come to the table. And I'm telling you now, he's making a mistake just assuming they're gonna give him a big ass deal.
Well, here's what I said. I said he should have signed his deal in the offseason. He was the guy who I said should not go into the year without a deal, only because if it doesn't go wrong, they're going to try to shortchange him. Whereas 100%. In the offseason, when everybody was getting paid, right after Josh Allen signed his deal, Lamar Jackson should have marched into the office and said, "I need my deal right now."
Or you're gonna have to find another quarterback.
Or I'm just not going to show up.
Right, 100%. I mean, we have this conversation every week.
Call RG3. He's on ESPN. See if he wants to come back, because I'm not going to show up unless you pay my money.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't think he should have went into the season without a deal. But I do think the Lamar Jackson thing has gotten to a point now where it's almost disrespectful, like where we haven't seen him go out and win games, where we haven't seen him address some of his shortcomings, where we haven't seen him try to get better, and where he's still not elite and a threat in this league and something you can't stop when he wants to.
I'm with you. I get that. But we're talking about contending to beat the Chiefs and the Bills and teams like that. And
so what are you doing? Are you franchising them? Get them another show or prove it? Or are you moving on? Because you have to make a decision.
Listen, this is what I'm saying is we're going to have to find some type of middle ground to where we're not on the hook for $38 million per. I have to look. I'd have to go look at the salaries and stuff, but there has to be he's going to want to be a top 3 paid quarterback in the league, and I don't think he will be.
It's an MVP trophy.
Yeah, I understand
that. He's going to ask for more than Josh Allen. He's going to ask for more than Deshaun Watson. The only thing, again, and just like we take it out the conversation, you take Mahomes' deal out the conversation, but he's probably going to want to be the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
I would not give him that money. That's what I'm telling you.
That's what he's going to ask for.
Yeah, I get that, but we're going to have to.
He wants Dak. He'll want Dak money. Give him the Dak money.
We're going to have to figure something out. Dak is a way better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. That simple as that.
Not according to his agents.
Yeah. So, I get you.
You already know. I mean, there's no shot he's coming in and signing some team friendly deal. There's zero chance of that. Zero.
I see. I don't even want to call it team friendly. He ranks at the bottom, towards the bottom of the league in all the passing categories. So what are we talking about? It's not like he's burning down the stat book and he's out there throwing it around for 3-4 touchdowns a game. He's had 2 back-to-back years with 1,000 yards.
A career 101, a career 101.9 passer rating.
Let me ask you this: he's just going to run for 1,100 yards every year for the next 6-7 years? He's going to run 1,200 yards a year, huh? Nah, bro. At some point, nah.
Well, you would hope that he becomes a better quarterback in that time,
right? And that's what.
It's also his 4th year of starting. I mean, like, what are we? Like,
no, but listen. I get that. Could he become a better passer and a better quarterback? Sure. But
yes.
Right now, you don't have the leverage to walk into the office and be like, I need to be paid like Pat Mahomes, Brady.
I'm so shocked you're saying this.
Yeah, that's just the facts.
I'm floored
That's just
that you don't think that he has the leverage to walk in there and demand a mega contract after winning the MVP and being 31-8 as a starter.
He can't throw the ball.
Football's about winning games, and he's won way more than he's lost.
I think, listen.
31-8.
Let me be clear. I'm a Ravens fan and a Lamar Jackson fan and a Harbaugh fan. I love it. I love all of it. I would be hard pressed to he can't throw it like that. And you know what happens to guys that can't throw it like that is when it gets time to win in time, late in the year, playoffs, he's very limited. And you've seen it multiple times. It's on film. Go watch. So I'm rooting for Lamar. Could he become a really, really good quarterback throwing the ball down the road? Sure. But in the NFL, you win playoff games and win trophies throwing the rock. He's not going to be able to run for 1,200 yards a season the next 4 or 5 years in a row.
Right. So in that time period, he improves as a quarterback.
Yeah, just like Giannis's jump shot getting ready to come back too, right?
Well, Giannis just won a championship.
But that's the Ben Simmons for the pull up with a jumper, right?
Well, that's different. Yeah. I wouldn't. No. How are we gonna compare it to Giannis?
No.
50 and 50 in a closeout game. So I don't know.
But the narrative is what I'm saying. I wish I knew we were going to talk about that. I would have pulled up a bunch of passing numbers, but I don't know, man. I couldn't. You know, when he had all the leverage, it was after he won MVP. He should have held out then. You know my stance. I said the other day, Derrick Henry should hold out today. I'm Derrick Henry. If I'm Derrick Henry, I'm calling Vrabel like, hey, look, man, I don't know, my hammies kind of tight. I'm holding out after games.
A new signing bonus might work for me because I am the offense. Like, and I'm not even kidding. I'm holding out right now. If you, I'm fuck that. They can cut you in the middle of the week. I cannot show up on Tuesday.
Hold out after carries and shit.
Oh, shit. Coach, this series, I don't know if I can go next series. Where's the cap guy? You got to check?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hold out. Kyler Murray, hold out. Like, yeah. And Murray's going to get the deal. That's the deal. Murray's going to get a stupid deal.
Murray is what Lamar Jackson is supposed to be.
So Murray, so I had this when I was watching Murray the other day. That's kind of what Murray is, slightly under Lamar as a runner, but way far superior as a passer. The thing that Murray, if you watch that one throw that Murray had the other day, where he's running, he does this better than anybody. Mahomes, it doesn't matter who it is. Where he's going one way, stops, turns. He throws the ball while in motion, maybe better than anybody I've ever seen. Like, if you just look at that throw, he doesn't need to plant his feet. Like, he throws the ball while actively in a full sprint better than anybody I've ever seen. Like, it's actually remarkable. He's crazy. He's a video game.
You know what it is, too, and it's usually he's better than anybody I've seen at running the opposite direction and throwing the ball. He's not running to his right and letting it fly. He's going left and doesn't set his feet and doesn't just squares up and lets it fly. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And his escapability is nuts. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that's who Lamar Jackson – that would be your ideal. Like, I wish we could have Lamar Jackson throw like Kyler. But, man, I feel like the shitting on Lamar thing has gotten at an all-time high and getting disrespectful.
But that's what I'm saying.
Now we can't get a deal.
I'm not shitting on Lamar. But I'm telling you that I couldn't sign him for no 5-year – $38 million per.
So if he asks for that, you're just like, hey, sorry, Lamar, we're good.
That's too much.
So if he's like, hey, that's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot. Just like I'm never paying a running back ever.
Well, that's a completely different story.
No, yeah, you're right. But that I think
Elliott, Ezekiel, like, yeah.
I just don't think he.
Another guy.
I'm not paying him that much money. It's too much for a guy that's going to throw the ball for 230 yards a game.
And rush for another 120. They give him a 4-year deal while his legs still work.
Yeah, 3-year deal, 4-year deal.
Yeah, 4 years, 158 million. Just take all the money. We're not committed to you long term. We'll figure it out. But I think he's going to get a deal. And I don't equate it to paying a running back.
No, I don't think so. But I also am. If you're going to tell me that he's just going to rush for 1,200 yards a year, and that's a big reason why I'm signing him, I'm nervous about that. So, all right, week 2 in the books, week 3 on the way, man. We're going to try to jump on the mic later this week and talk some shit. But I wanted to ask Nick about this. In Paris, France, Lionel Messi was playing a league match. And for those who don't know, Lionel Messi played his whole career at Barcelona, best player of their he's the top 2 player of all time, him and Ronaldo in the conversation. And
so like real quick, they're better than Pele and the other Reynaldo.
No, that's Ronaldo, number 9. Yeah, you're talking about
better
Ronaldo.
than him. Yeah, better than all those guys. Maradona, better than Maradona.
I mean, it's they're all in the conversation, right?
Okay, yeah.
But Messi's numbers are crazy. But so I wanted to ask you this, Nick. Regular league match, Messi is in the middle of the game. It's like the 70th minute of a 90-minute match, and he gets subbed off. Looks over, and he's obviously pissed off and shocked that he's getting subbed.
Yeah.
And they went on to play better and win the match with him off the pitch. It's a new team for him. He's trying to get acclimated.
Came right as the season started, right? I mean, he didn't even no offseason with them.
Should superstars decide when they come on and off? NFL, NBA, does it vary?
It's not even really an NFL. It's not even an NFL question because you're kind of just lined up in what you're lined up in for the most time they're on. But like NBA, soccer, hockey, because the line shifts, things like that. Baseball for a pitcher, which I don't even know if you put a baseball. But I guess
let me ask you that. That's
is it baseball? Can you wave off like
like Pedro Martinez? Like,
I'm coming off.
I ain't doing.
Or like when LeBron used to sub himself out of games.
Right. That's the question. Do you lean more that they kind of got to, listen to the coach and go by that? Or should they be on a different wavelength? Like, man, let me decide if I can't go anymore. I'm Pedro Martinez. I'm Randy Johnson. I'm Matt Scherzer. I'm whoever. Like, I'm good.
I'm not coming off.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Messi situation is unique because of what you just brought up. The fact that he just got to that team, right? He's an older player, obviously. Just got to that squad. And if the manager, coach is looking at it and saying, hey, it just doesn't look right with him out there, and I just need to pull him out because he's just not fitting with our flow right now, we still got to kind of work him in. I don't have a problem with that. But the answer to your question is I think that star players should have a lot more pull and when they get pulled and things like that. So for Messi's situation is different because, again, they're still working them in. But yeah, I think like, if you're LeBron and and Vogel's trying to pull you off, you have the right to be like, nah, bro, like I'm good. Now it shouldn't become a huge back and forth, right? At the end of the day, like the coach is in charge, unfortunately. But he should have the right. Yeah, you're right.
Is he?
Not Vogel's definitely not in charge of LeBron.
That's the thing, though. That's why it's interesting. It's like, is he though?
Is he? Yeah. So no, I think that the star players should be able. They know their bodies. They know what they're capable of. They know when they're playing like shit. And they know when they still have something left. I think they should be kind of allowed to, say I'm staying in the game for sure.
And then now I think it's a little different for sports. I guess I'm a little more leaning to.
Soccer, when you're off, right? You're done. You can't come back
you're
in.
off. Yeah. I'm a little more inclined in like hoops to be like maybe the coach should have. You might get out there and get a little lost and not be able. You don't know how tired you look out there type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm inclined to maybe waver on hoops versus soccer or something like that. And especially in soccer, bro, you should be able to be like, nah, I'm not coming off.
So you think Messi in that situation, even though he's brand new at that squad, could still be like, hey, bro, like, nah, do you know who I am?
Yeah. Yes. That's how I feel about it. And I also think, like you said, it can't be a big back and forth. Like
That's what it can't be.
If you're trying to pull a starting pitcher, come out and talk to him and be like, hey, man, let me know what you want to do type thing.
Yeah.
Don't come out there asking for the ball, like pulling him before you even get out there. Like, go out there and be like, yeah. I guess eventually they never want to come out. But then I guess, what if you just get to a spot where dude's like never wants to come? He never wants to come off. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Home run, triple.
Right.
I'm good though. No, I'm good.
Well, and at that point, that's when the manager has to say, look, man, you're getting shelled out there. Or look, man, you're fucking with our continuity. Or look, you're 0 for 13 right now. You know what I mean? Like at that point, the coach has to take control of the team. And can't, because then you got other guys looking at you too, like, hey, bro, you can't get this dude out. Like you can't make an adjustment. Because we'll kill coaches for not making an adjustment. And sometimes that's the adjustment that needs to be made. So I think it's a give and take. But I think the real question is, does your star player get more rope than other guys? And the answer is yes.
All day.
Yes.
All day. For sure.
And if you don't like it, go be a star. Like, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, we're over whether or not the conversation of stars get preferential treatment and all that. The answer is yes. The answer is yes, they deserve it because those are the guys that you lean on.
Is this America?
This is America. Like, yeah, you think anyone, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Giannis was like, "Hey, I'm staying on," Chris Middleton's gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, have a seat. You know what I mean? Like, sit down. You know, like we're not doing this.
All walks.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
walks of life.
Exactly. So I think with baseball and pitchers, though, that one's almost a little bit more different because the manager knows when the pitcher's done.
Right.
Baseball managers, they watch 100. They do 162 games a year. Like someone like La Russa, who's managing 30,000 games, can look at a pitcher after a couple pitches and be like, "Yeah, it's not happening tonight." So,
yeah, I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. All right, that's it for us this week, man. We got NFL Week 3 coming up. We have some more content later in the week coming up. We're gonna do some NK fast food for you guys, so be on the lookout for that. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, man. You know the deal. Like us on YouTube, subscribe, share the homies. Subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere, man. Lock in with us. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago. We out of here.